Remember that movie Jurassic Park where they bring back dinosaurs from the dead and they basically terrorize and eat everybody? Turns out, we're doing that in real life. Not with dinosaurs, unfortunately, but with this animal right here called the thylacine, which we, unfortunately, hunted to extinction. But what makes it even weirder is people keep claiming to see this animal, whether it's in their backyard, at some park, or really anywhere else. So did the thylacine ever actually go extinct, or did they possibly bring it back to life? Okay, so this thing's called the thylacine, or it's nicknamed the Tasmanian tiger, because it basically looks like a dog with tiger stripes on its back, but it's actually much more closely related to a kangaroo or a wombat, and you might be able to guess, but they mainly live on Tasmania, with some of them also living in Australia. So we headed to the Museum of Tasmania, where we would get to learn more about this animal and how it went extinct, and most importantly, what exactly it looked like, so we could try to find it.
You ready for this? This is about to be epic. It's actually bigger than I thought. That's like that'd be a sizable dog. And there's also this leg broken flat. Look how far back like their jaw is. Ugh. Like it's way back. $1.25 million reward. We really gotta find this now.
The last known one died 1936. Dead. Or dated.
So to quickly go over it, the last thylacine alive was held in a zoo that we actually were able to go to. We're now at the spot where the zoo used to be of the last thylacine, last Tasmanian tiger, which is kind of sad. I almost feel like I should have brought like flowers or something. Look how sad they all are. They all got frowny faces. Just beyond was the Tasmanian tiger cage. The last thylacine in captivity died here in 1936. To explain it as simply as possible, the zoo literally forgot to let the last thylacine inside, so it just died due to exposure.
You killed him! You killed him! You killed him!
But as for how the other ones went extinct,
They would yell their chickens, so that's why they would kill them. And they even offered a reward to a tiger hunter to hunt them. That dude literally massacred this species.
Yes.
Literally ended a species. Maybe he had a favorite chicken.
Yeah.
And it's like John Wick. My chicken.
Yeah,
I'll kill every last one of them. His name was Mr. Clucks.
we now know a bit about it, and more importantly, how it looks, so that when we watch these thylacine sighting videos, we might be able to tell if it actually was one or just something else. But my question is, how do we actually know this thing is extinct? And I know that's what a lot of other people are thinking as well, because of how many sightings there are. So I got 3 of the most convincing sightings that we're gonna go to see if they could possibly be thylacine sighting. And then later, we were gonna see if maybe these sightings could have been this thing brought back to life by scientists.
Engineer our thylacine back into existence.
So this next sighting is in 2016. It's dash cam footage of apparently the Tasmanian tiger. This is it slowed down.
Can I get a little zoom in?
I think it will. Oh, dude, this is such bad quality.
That could be a fox, bro.
It does look like the right color, and it's like a little oddly shaped. We are watching a actual potato video. I think foxes have like bushy tails, so it's definitely not a fox. Yeah, this is like a foxtail.
Oh, man.
We're in the city where that was taken. The problem is it's a really large city, so we're kind of just gonna drive around a little bit. A lot of the times I don't believe in stuff that we're looking for, but I'm gonna say on this one, I almost am a full believer.
If there were just one sighting, then I would say, okay, it's just some animal that probably just looks weird, like some albino type animal. But since there's like multiple sightings, I could believe it's real.
With them bringing it back, like I feel like plenty of other species have went extinct, but like why aren't we trying to bring those back? Or maybe we just don't know about it. This one, I believe last year they said they were like almost there, like they were almost bringing it back.
We've almost completely sequenced the entire genome of the Tasmanian tiger.
We drove around a lot but couldn't catch anything, so we headed to the next spot, which I thought we were a lot more likely to find at least some animals.
Alright guys, we're at the most recent sighting that just happened in 2022, only 3 years ago. We're in Blair National Park where that was sighted. Maybe we find that thing and it's like just a normal ass dog. Or maybe we find it and it's the Tasmanian tiger. We grab it, put it in our car, make millions. Okay, so this one actually, I think is the only one that was on the news. Is it that? What the fuck?
Bro moaned.
Looks like a little dog thing.
Yeah.
and then it runs off. Yeah, this one's not the most compelling. This is the most recent crazy theory here. So, all right. So it went extinct, right? And we know we'll talk to them later, but they're trying to bring this thing back. What if they already did? What if the scientists already did and they just released it? Or one got away and escaped. Eyes peeled. I feel like we should go that way. That one looks like it goes more into the woods. I feel like they could have got a better video. Like, it was like standing still and everything. I feel like they could have like walked up to it and not made that ridiculous call sound. Yeah. And then maybe they would have been able to get a close video.
What the hell?
Dude, what is up with these Australian animals?
Oh, it's those motherfuckers. They laughing at us, bro.
I just asserted my dominance.
Oh, pond. And you know what goes near ponds?
Any animal that drinks water, which is every animal. Just two bros on a hike.
Nothing weird going on here.
I swear we're just two bros on a hike. What the? Kangaroo! A kangaroo? Bro, I walked up there and like 5 jumped out.
5?
Yeah, just little arms. They're kind of like T-Rex.
Oh, dude. Fuck that shit up, bro.
That shit's not real.
You gotta get closer.
Actually, I actually love kangaroo. Yeah, I've low-key seen a few dogs here, like people with dogs. That shit might have been a dog. Based off the pictures and the Tasmanian tiger we saw in the museum, and that, it wasn't similar enough.
These last 2 sightings were in Australia, where some thylacines have lived, but now we headed to Tasmania, an island right below Australia, where the majority of them lived and where most of the sightings were. And this was the last sighting before we would talk to someone that was apparently bringing these things back to life.
Here in this town we're in right now, it's called Medina, Tasmania. So here's the video. Okay, I see it. It's really bad quality. That's like, okay. Looking at the shape of it, it does have the long tail. It has the long snout. It's like the shape of it. The hard thing for these videos is I feel like a lot of them have the shape of the thylacine, but we found out dingoes do. That was the name, right? Dingoes? Yeah. Have that kind of shape. So it's like, and then all the videos, they're kind of like in bushes. And there's plenty of bushes. We'll search every last bush until we find. Okay, so we drove a little bit down the road and to a foresty area where it could hide. I've never brought a flashlight into a forest broad daylight, but we were driving by it and it actually was like pitch black in there. Like we couldn't see past a few trees. Just look around real quick. Look how beautiful it is, dude. The world saw this and said, let's make zins. Oh my gosh, look how dark it is right there. It is incredible. This is the most mystical forest I've ever been in. Oh my gosh, this just looks so cool.
It's getting darker already.
It is. We're barely in this.
Damn, look at that way.
Yeah, I was actually just about to put that out. It's not even really muddy either, so we can't really look for like foot tracks. Because we did see in the museum, that was really cool. They showed the difference between like Tasmanian devil and regular dogs and then their footprints. Oh, let's get on their level. Genius strat.
To find the thylacines, we gotta become the thylacines.
We didn't find anything yet, but we still had lots of areas to search in Tasmania before talking to the man apparently bringing these things back.
Excuse me, sir. Have you seen any Tasmanian tigers around?
Nah, they're gone years ago.
Do you think any still exist by chance?
No, I've lived in this valley all my life and
never seen one.
Nothing, no.
Someone had claimed to see one here, but
yeah, but I think they're a little bit.
I found a river, so I feel like, you know, all animals, they need water. Maybe we catch a glimpse of the thylacine looking for water. I might be delusional here and not know enough about this, but I believe this thing still exists. I mean, I really think like our best chances would be finding it by the water. That's the only thing I remember from the chupacabra lady. She was like, best chance to find any animal near the water. We probably gotta be quiet, stealthy. We've been too loud and obnoxious. The sightings seem to be like they're like kind of in the bushes and stuff. So I'm kind of just looking around the bushes
near the water. But how are you gonna get back up?
I think I gotta go right there. Oh man. They don't call me Adventure Jones for nothing.
No one calls you that. Dude, I swear you're gonna fall in that water.
How would I fall in this water? I just gotta turn around, backflip, land on there, one leg, then do a cartwheel right there, jump up there, triple backflip.
There's no way.
None of the sightings were convincing enough, and we couldn't find anything. So I got back and called the man bringing these things back, apparently, which we could also check if any of these sightings could have been thylacine.
So I'm Andrew Pask. I'm a professor of developmental genetics and biology. I run the Tiger Lab, which is main objective is to de-extinct the Tasmanian tiger.
So to take a quick step back, I want to talk a little bit about the extinction. How do we know for sure that an animal goes extinct? With how big Australia is, how little populated most of the area is?
Always, proving something's gone is really, really challenging. But from 1936, so that's when the last animal died in captivity, there's been no scientific evidence of the existence of any thylacines from that point onward. People think they see them all the time because they look very much like a wolf or a dog. When they think they've seen them, often they'll collect scat samples, they'll send them to my lab, and we processed, I can't even tell you how many hundred scat samples. There's no evidence of thylacines beyond that last animal in 1936. That's the last scientific evidence.
I've been looking a lot into people capture a lot of videos, and I wasn't able to find any video that I was like, yeah, that's 100% it. It's all like very blurry, slow, far away, where I could see it definitely being another animal.
It's always that fuzzy, something in the distance. Whereas for every other species on Tasmania, even the ones that are very, very rare, you get these beautiful clear snapshots of when they've walked right in front of the camera. There's a reason we don't have a shot like that of a thylacine, and that's because they are not there.
So I'll move on to what's by far the most interesting, bringing it back. So can you explain, I guess in just as simple terms as you can, how that's possible, how you guys are doing that?
Unfortunately, once an animal is dead, its cells are dead, that's it, that is dead. But what you can do is you can figure out what is the closest living relative to the animal that went extinct, and then use that as a template of living cells, living DNA, to engineer your extinct animal back into existence, essentially is how it works. Then using that sequence, we could say, what is the closest living relative to that animal? And that's a small mouse-sized marsupial, which is called a fat-tailed dunner. They're about 99.8% the same. So there's about, we think, 500,000 plus edits that we need to make to turn that dunner genome into what a thylacine looked like. And so then it's a matter of just going through and doing all of that DNA editing.
So what does the DNA editing look like? Like, what are you using? How is that being done?
We actually use these CRISPR-Cas9 tools. So these are little molecular scissors, if you like, that go in and they can remove a section of the donor DNA and flip in a segment from the thylacine. So if we switched all of those bits of code that are different between those two animals, now that cell is going to be programmed to go down a thylacine developmental pathway.
So how close would you say we are to seeing thylacine running around?
We said at the beginning of this project a couple of years ago when we announced it all that it would take about 10 years to get our first fully edited nuclei, and I think we're on track with that.
I wanted to ask about other animals and like what goes into deciding how and why you bring an animal back.
I feel very, very strongly about bringing back the Tasmanian tiger, and I think from a morality check, it ticks all of our boxes. I think it's immoral to not bring it back. And I think this is because, this is a human-driven extinction, so it's something we can pinpoint that we absolutely drove this animal to extinction. And also, it had a very, very unique role in that landscape. We don't have any other apex predators in our landscape that fulfilled the same role as the Tasmanian tiger. And so the ecosystem is really beginning to fall apart because of the loss of that animal. And so putting it back in is also very, very important from a conservation perspective. For things like mammoths, for example, they've been extinct a lot longer. They used to clear large areas of forest, which really acts like a large air conditioner for our atmosphere. And that could be incredibly helpful as we're facing, raising global temperatures. And so there's lots of ways in which you think that you could use these animals to help rebuild ecosystems, to help rebalance our planet.
I have one more question because I love dinosaurs and I love Jurassic Park, and I wanted to ask you if you think in the future they could be brought back, and if you think they will.
So it sounds like they absolutely do not exist anymore. Unfortunately, all of it, there's no clear videos. As for bringing it back, on the one hand, it is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
It is crazy that we can do that, and it's gonna help. It sounds like it's gonna help the entire planet Earth and the population of Tasmania. Super cool. On the other hand, they're literally playing God. That's like actually mind-blowing. They're literally flipping DNA, taking DNA out of existing cells, I guess, of an existing animal, and then they're gonna grow a thylacine. Sounds like they can do it with other animals too, which is also insane, so I'm really curious to see. I'd love to talk to him again, see what other animals they're bringing back. If you want to support my channel at all, just subscribe. That literally helps me more than anything else you could do. I want to get to 10 million subscribers. Help me get to 10 million so I can do even cooler stuff, talk to even cooler people, because believe it or not, the more subscribers I have, the cooler people I can talk to. Go buy my merch, link in the description. If you have any other video ideas, mysteries, quests, adventures, comment them down below. I love to see. A lot of people told me to do this, and I hadn't really heard of it, so thank you guys. You're the reason I did this video. If you want to watch another banger video, click right here. Hopefully YouTube suggests a good one. Love you guys.